Okay. Well, okay. This is a good one. This is good. Smart ways to reduce taxes in 2018. How many of you out there don't think you pay enough in taxes? You want to give Uncle Sam a little more? I'll wait. Yeah. I think there's very few things people in our nation can all agree on, but pretty sure doesn't matter your race, your age, how much money you have, where you come from. I think this is one of those things that we can all agree on, is that we give enough to Uncle Sam. We give enough. And, well, we're going to talk about a couple of things you can do this year, 2018, that can save you some money. Leave a little money in your pocket next year. All right, it's already January, so this isn't for if you haven't filled out your taxes yet for this year, you got a couple months, but you're too late. If you're starting now to think about taxes, you're too late. To win in this game, to win with the IRS, one, you got to be legit. Don't ever try to pull one on them. And two, you got to put work in. You got to put some time into it. You got to put some effort into it. But if you're smart and you put the time into it, you can save a lot of money. And the IRS is okay with that. You do it the right way. SDIRA, self-directed IRA, probably the best way to save money legitimately and give less to Uncle Sam. That's what this show's about. So I got 5 things for you guys to consider for this year, for 2018, to help reduce what you pay Uncle Sam next year. And the first is going to be tracking medical expenses. If you have a lot of medical expenses, the IRS and Uncle Sam they're going to give you a break. They're going to give you a break. Thanks to a last-minute renegotiation, the new tax reform bill did not end up repealing the medical expense deduction. That means taxpayers with high medical expenses can continue to claim a significant tax break. But in order to squeeze the best possible deal out of the IRS, you need to keep track of all of your expenses, starting right now. Best way to do that, use one credit card. Or if the limit's not high enough, use 2 specifically. Best way to, my opinion, to keep track of taxes for specific things, to use a credit card. That way, when it comes time to preparing your taxes, all you need to do is whip out the statements for that the 12 statements for that card, and it's nicely organized. And you start throwing the totals in your Schedule A. It's not that tough. And the great thing about credit cards, let me tell you something. Credit cards can get people in trouble, but if you're smart, like my wife, she's an absolute genius with credit cards. You can save even more money. The rewards, the cashback features, certain cards have awesome opportunities for specific situations. Some cards are great for dining out. Some cards are great for travel. Some cards are great for office expenses. There's thousands of cards out there. Use a card that you get rewards. A lot of cards these days, you can use the rewards to pay down the balance if you're going to carry a balance on it. So keep track of all your expenses. And use a credit card if you want. If not, fine. But if you have a lot of medical expenses, the IRS is going to give you a break. Number two. Save for retirement. This is what this show is all about. IRAs, 401ks, saving for retirement. This is where you're going to save money in taxes. This is where you can build wealth without giving half of it up to Uncle Sam. But you need to know what you're doing. You need to know how to do it. Contributing to a traditional IRA or 401k means potentially huge tax breaks for you. Of the two 401k contributions, produce the best tax break. First, you get the tax deduction automatically without having to claim it on your return because contributions come out of your pre-tax paycheck. And second, contribution limits are higher for 401ks than IRAs, so you can contribute more, therefore getting a bigger deduction. However, if you don't have access to a 401k, by all means, open up an IRA account and contribute as much as you can. We had an episode last week, we talked about maximizing your contributions. If there's one thing you do all year long for yourself, your family, your financial future, it is to have an IRA account and maximize the contributions. Do whatever you got to do to make sure you're not a penny short on that maximum contribution limit. That's your retirement. That's how you're going to live. One thing I'm learning as I get older, things that I thought were important 10 years ago, 5 years ago, a year ago, they're not important anymore. That time is gone. I'm seeing what's important now is the future. Why do I care about yesterday? It's done. Put some money away for the future. You'll be a lot happier that you did versus, I don't know, what are people doing with money instead of saving it? Buying things, material things, traveling. I mean, everyone's got their own bucket list and their own things that are important to them. I understand that. And I'm not here to say one's more important than the other. But make sure you have some money when you can't work anymore. Number 3, buy a house. If you don't own a house yet, and you're thinking about it, well, you can save a lot of money on your taxes by buying a house. How so? Mortgage interest. You get to deduct your mortgage interest from your home on your home, and those first couple of years are the highest. Your interest is the highest. Standard fixed rate mortgages are set up so more of your payments go towards interest on the loan during the first couple of years. You get to deduct that interest. So if you've recently bought a home, even if you've owned it if you've owned it for a long time, you probably know that you can deduct your mortgage interest. But those first few years are the most important. You're going to get the biggest deduction. So don't forget about that. If you're renting, why not buy a home? Do you move around too much? Do you work? Do you work? You move around a lot. You have bad credit. Do you not want to deal with the hassle? Owning a home, it can be a hassle. My wife and I bought our first home 3 years ago. We lived in a nice high-rise condo downtown. We rented for several years when we first lived together. Decided we wanted to buy a home. We wanted a yard with a fence for all our pets, and I wanted a garage with a tool chest so I could work on things and wreck things and try and fix them. I don't know. I didn't have any idea how much work a house would be, but there are a lot of deductions and ways you can save money by owning a home. So if you're thinking about it, owning a home can ultimately be a lot cheaper than renting in a lot of different ways in the long run and help your wealth over time. So think about that. Number 4, donate to charity. Now, donating to charity there's 2 ways I look at it. One, really wealthy people donate a lot of money to charities and things they're passionate about. Why do you think people do that? Why do you think wealthy people donate a lot of money to charities? Granted, they're passionate about the cause and all of that. But what are they really doing? They're saving money. They're doing it for deductions. Not saying you all are. If you want to email me and tell me I'm wrong, I understand. But donating to charity can help reduce your taxes. The nice thing about donating is you don't need to be wealthy or have a ton of disposable income to donate to charities. How many of you clean out your house, your closet, your garage? How many times a year do you do that? We do it several times. I would say 6 times a year maybe. We clean junk out, throw it away, or take it to Goodwill if it's in good condition. Are you taking your junk to Goodwill? You should. You go drop it off, the guy hands you the little. You need a card? Yeah. Take it, use it. Over time, that'll add up. That helps. Every little bit helps. Donate to charity. If you don't get a ton of money, take your stuff to Goodwill. It's going to help. Last but not least, tax credits. These are going to be the biggest savings, the biggest opportunities for you. But they're also a little bit more difficult to be eligible for, to qualify for. But there's a lot of different stuff. There's education tax credits. There's economic tax credits, like driving a energy efficient vehicle, or putting energy efficient windows or solar panels on your home, or there's a whole bunch of stuff, a whole bunch of tax credits. The problem is a lot of people don't know what's out there and what's available. So what you should do, if you want to qualify for tax credits and get the biggest savings possible, research it and start now, because the more time you have, once you know what's available, you're going to know what you could potentially get or what you want. You can start planning for that throughout the year. And you can prepare yourself to get those tax credits and prepare yourself to meet those eligibility requirements. There's a couple in particular that are a little more popular: the Earned Income Tax Credit, the Lifetime Learning and American Opportunity Education Credit, the Child and Dependent Care Credit, and the Savers Credit. These are all potentially huge tax breaks and relatively easy to qualify for. Effective tax planning requires you to put a little extra time and effort throughout the year to track your expenses and qualify for the breaks. But when it comes time to filling out your taxes at the end of the year, it'll be all worth it. So to win on your taxes, to save more money, you need to put in time, you need to put in effort, and you need to start now. Have any questions about taxes? I know a lot of great tax attorneys. You can go to SDIRA.org to view a directory of them. If you want any specific recommendations, feel free to email me. We have an attorney coming on tomorrow, Mr. Adam Bergman. He'll be on the show. It's going to be exciting.